Good morning. This is the Aaron Zero show where you give you the latest news coming from India and Delhi in particular. Here are the headlines. 25 million Americans have already voted. There's going to be joint patrolling on the Indo-Chinese border. Germany has given more visas for Indians to work there. So those are some of the headlines. So 25 million Americans have already voted, and if Kamala Harris gets elected, she would be the only, should be one of the first black Asian women to win. So that would be, of course, a game changer. And 47 states have allowed early voting. So voting has already begun in all these states. And I was watching a interview with the political analyst from out of New York, and he felt that Kamala Harris has a less chance of winning because the incumbent, according to him, always has a tougher chance of winning the election. Experience of current year, incumbents in other countries they lost. That's what he sees, and he sees Donald Trump as having a greater chance of winning in that respect. And he also feels the BRICS conference held in Russia was a victory for Mr. Putin because he managed to get so many other countries assembled there to attend this conference. And of course, there were a lot of other countries that attended the conference because they hoped to be part of the BRICS grouping of countries, besides Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, which were the original members of this grouping. So that is his prediction that Harris will not win. And so it remains to be seen. There are only about 10, 12 days left now for the election. And ex President Obama has campaigned for her. Beyonce, the pop singer, spoke about her and the need to have freedom and, of course, abortion rights for women. And I believe rock singer Bruce Springsteen also made an appearance. So, also, there are third parties that are there running the election, and they could be a spoiler in the sense that they would be grabbing votes that are intended for Harris or Trump. One of them is RFK Jr., the son of John F. Kennedy Jr., who is also running as an independent. So, so we have coordinated patrols by the Indian and Chinese armies to begin by October end. And Chinese troops will not block Indians from traditional patrol points. Indian shepherds can access grazing grounds there, and there will be work on border agreement. So the new pact on patrolling at Depsang and Damchok does not include no patrol buffer zones set up in earlier rounds of disengagement. Those zones at Galwan, north bank of Sangpo, the Kailash Range, and the larger Gogra Hot Spring area are largely located in what India considers its own territory. And resumption of patrol in these zones is being discussed separately. So Germany has upped the visas for skilled Indian workers to 90,000 a month from 20,000 a month. So that'll be good news for our skilled young people who can apply for jobs there. And He says, I'm confident this will further boost Germany's economic growth. Speaking at the Asia Pacific Conference of German Business with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, this is the right time to join India's growth story, India becoming a global trade and manufacturing hub, according to Prime Minister Modi. And we have some other little headlines here. Donald Trump is running to be an American tyrant, says rock legend Bruce Springsteen at Democratic presidential nominees. Kamala Harris's star-studded rally in Georgia. Israeli airstrikes have hit guest houses where journalists were staying in southeast Lebanon, killing three media staffers from two news agencies. Another attack on southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis kills 38 people. So Israeli army is now also targeting journalists, and in addition to already having done a genocidal attack, which has already killed 45 or 42,000 Palestinians. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says North Korean troops are poised to be deployed by Russia on battlefield as early this weekend, and he canceled the UN Chief's Guterres planned visit to Kiev because he was unhappy with that kind of a result and meeting of Putin and the UN leader. In cricket, New Zealand is in a pole position to win their first Test season in India after Mitchell Stanter takes 7:53 to bowl out the host for 156 on day two of second Test in Pune. At stumps, Kiwis reached 98 for five with lead of 301. So that is another part. Then on the Indian news side, the customs were told to release Sousa and Padam C art. There are two famous Indian artists, legendary artists, Sousa and Francis Newton Sousa and Akbar Padam C, and their works, which included some nude paintings, were seized by the customs as obscene material. And of course, there's nothing obscene about it because nudity is beautiful. That's as I find it. And so they are being told to release those artworks. And in the Jammu Kashmir attack, a third soldier has died, and so the toll has now gone up to five people. The attack, which was in the Baramulla area, where already five people had died earlier. So it has increased, and of course, the National Conference leader Farooq Abdullah said terror can't force Kashmiris to join Pakistan, and Kashmir will always be a part of India. Bravo for that comment. And the Canadian government has rejected the National Investigative Agency's request for Hardeep Nijjar's death certificate. That was a terrorist who was shot on Canadian soil, and Canadians refused to give the death certificate so that the Indians can keep it for the record and find out. And at the same time, the National Investigative Agency has put out a 10 lakh reward for gangster Bishnoi's Canada based brother, whose name is Anmol, who is also operating the gang from Canada and targeting people, extortion, killings, and stuff like that. And they are recently blamed for killing a Indian politician called Baba Siddiqui in Bombay.